You know that feeling when you grab a cheap binocular off the clearance rack, only to find the image is hazy, the focus feels like it's sliding around, and you end up wishing you'd spent a little more money? I've been there, and that hesitation is exactly why I spend extra time reading specs, watching unboxing videos, and scrolling through the few reviews that exist before I actually hit record. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Leica Sport Optics Trinovid HD 10x32mm Roof Prism Binocular promises high-definition optics in a compact, rugged package, but does it really deliver a smarter buy compared to the budget options that often let you down after the first outing? First off, let's talk about the type of person who reaches for a binocular like this. If you're the kind of hobbyist who spends weekends birdwatching in a city park, or a weekend hiker who likes to glance at distant mountaintops without lugging a massive scope, the 10x magnification and 32mm objective lens strike a nice balance between reach and portability. The roof prism design means the binoculars stay slim, so they slip easily into a backpack or even a large jacket pocket. That's a real advantage when you're moving quickly from trail to trail, or need to pack light for a day trip. On the flip side, if you're a serious astronomer or a long-range shooter who needs the biggest possible aperture, the 32mm objective will feel a bit light on light-gathering power. You'll notice dimmer objects at dusk compared to a 50mm model, and that's the trade-off built into a 10x32 design. Now, in terms of practical strengths, the high-definition claim isn't just marketing fluff. The lenses are coated with Leica's HD anti-reflective treatment, which really does reduce glare when you're looking at a bright sky or a sunlit water surface. I tried the binoculars on a misty morning at a local wetland, and the view of a kingfisher perched at the water's edge was crisp, with colors that didn't wash out despite the low light. The focus wheel on the right eyepiece moves smoothly, and the built-in focusing system holds its setting even after you shake the binoculars in your bag. That means you can set it once for 10x and not worry about hunting for focus each time you glance at a new target. The rubber armoring does more than just look tough. In my experience, the rubber grip provides a solid, non-slip hold even when my hands are sweaty after a steep ascent. The outer shell takes a couple of accidental drops without dents, and the matte black finish hides fingerprints better than glossy alternatives. There's also a contoured neoprene strap that slides over the binoculars, turning them into a quick-draw tool. When I clipped the strap to my belt on a rainy afternoon, the binoculars stayed snug against my chest, making it easy to pull them up for a quick glance at an approaching storm front. One of the hidden trade-offs shows up when you consider the added accessories. The package includes the Leica Trinovid HD 832, the 8 version, and the neoprene strap. That extra 8 unit is handy if you want a lower magnification for scanning larger areas. Think scanning a flock of birds before you zero in on a single specimen. However, you're also carrying 2 binoculars, which means more weight and a bigger case. If you're only looking for a single pair, the added 8 might feel like unnecessary bulk. Another practical weakness is the eye relief. At around 15mm, it's comfortable for most users, but if you wear glasses you might have to adjust the diopter rings more frequently to get a clear view. I found that even a slight misalignment caused a ghostly double image, which can be distracting when you're trying to capture a fast-moving subject. The diopter adjustment feels sturdy, but it does require a bit of patience if you're not used to fiddling with that knob. Battery life isn't a concern here because there are no electronics, just pure glass. But the lack of a built-in compass or rangefinder means you'll rely on your own judgment or separate tools for navigation. That's fine for casual users, but if you were hoping for an all-in-one adventure gadget, you'll need to supplement this binocular with other gear. Who should skip this model? If you're on a strict budget, the Leica price point, though justified by the optics, might feel steep when you could get a decent 842 pair for half the price. Also, if you regularly need to view wildlife at dawn or dusk, the smaller objective may not gather enough light for comfortable viewing, and you might prefer a binocular with larger lenses and perhaps a wider field of view. Lastly, if you're an avid photographer who wants to use binoculars to frame shots for a DSLR, the 10x magnification can make it tricky to keep subjects steady without a tripod, and the field of view shrinks compared to lower magnification models. Overall, the Leica Sport Optics Trinovid HD 10x32 feels like a thoughtful compromise between performance and portability. The high-definition coating, sturdy.